They betrayed him for being weak, but he climbed a tower and became God in an unknown world. There stood a tower called the Tower of God. This tower had the power to grant any wish, like fame, riches, power, or become a god, but there was a catch. To get what you wanted, you had to climb the tower, face its challenges, and reach the very top. At the pinnacle of the tower, everything you desired could be yours. At the bottom of the tower, in a dark and lonely cave, lived a boy known as the 25th Bomb. Bomb had no idea how he ended up in that cave. In fact, he had no memories of his life before Bomb found himself in the cave for days, and all he wanted was to escape. He tried with all his might, using the rocks he found in the cave to break through the cave ceiling. Living in the darkness had grown tiring, and he longed to see the light. Bomb persevered, and after some time he succeeded. He made a hole in the cave's roof, and light poured in. It was through that hole that Bomb first saw a girl named Rachel. She had heard Bomb's efforts and had broken the roof with a rock to help him. Rachel climbed inside the cave, and she and Bomb quickly became friends. Their bond grew stronger as Rachel was the first person Bomb had seen since he woke up in that cave. She helped Bomb learn many things he had forgotten and told him about the stars that shone at the top of the tower. Rachel had a dream of seeing those stars, and she aspired to climb the tower to make the dream come true. But Bomb, who only knew the cave and his best friend Rachel, wanted her to stay with him forever. One fateful day, Rachel made the decision to leave and run towards the tower's entrance, determined to face her dream of seeing the stars. Bomb ran after her, desperately trying to stop her from leaving him. He caught up to her and asked her where she was going. Rachel apologized and explained that she had to leave him behind because she was determined to climb the tower. In that moment, Rachel was enveloped in light and started disappearing simultaneously. The tower's doors swung open and a massive, powerful hand extended down towards Bal. Driven by his obsession with Rachel, Bomb somehow managed to enter the tower. As well, he awoke in a grand corridor and met the tower's guardian. Hedden seemed pleased that Bomb had arrived. Bomb was surprised that Han knew his name, thinking that perhaps Rachel had told him. Bomb urgently asked where Rachel was, but Hedden interrupted, telling him that all the answers he sought lay at the top of the tower. Hedden then presented a question: would Bomb be willing to take the necessary test to climb the tower and find what he was searching for? Bomb was determined to find Rachel and would do anything to bring her back. He couldn't bear to see her go. Han then altered the room and revealed a cage behind Bomb. Hedden explained the rules to pass the test. Bomb had to enter the gigantic cage and break a large ball inside it while avoiding the attacks of an armored steel eel also inside the cage. If he succeeded, he would pass the test and move on to the next floor of the tower to continue his search. Hedden warned Bomb that the test was extremely difficult and that he could withdraw now. The tower was dangerous and someone as weak as Bomb could lose their life attempting it. However, Bomb paid no attention to Han's words and rushed toward the cage, but just as he was about to enter, a girl stopped him by kicking him in the face. The girl named Yuri and a boy named Evan started speaking a strange language that Bomb couldn't understand. But don't worry, Evan had a special ball called a pocket that turned their words into something Bomb could understand. They said Bomb was an irregular, which meant he came into the tower all by himself. Unlike other regular folks, Bomb was on this journey to find his friend Rachel, and that's why he ended up in the tower. Han came by to them and figured out that Yuri was a princess of Zhard. She introduced herself, and Evan Hedden warned Yuri that if the big boss of the tower Zhard found out she was helping Bomb, there would be big trouble. Yuri thought the test was too tough for a newcomer, and she said even folks on the 20th floor would find it hard. But Hedden said Bomb was an irregular and Yuri thought he was harmless. Evan thought the same. Hedden had an idea. He told Yuri that if she wanted to help Bomb so badly, she should lend him a special sword called the Black March. It was part of a legendary set of swords in the tower, but Evan wasn't too sure about this idea, as only the princesses were supposed to use it. Yuri finally agreed and handed the Black March to Bomb. She said she did it because he had a pretty face. Bomb took the sword and went into a cage where the giant eel attacked him. Bomb tried to fight the eel with the sword but had some trouble when the eel ate him and Bomb injured it from the inside. He succeeded in getting away from the eel and focus on the ball. Bomb kept trying to break the black sphere, hoping for a miracle, but the eel came back to attack him. Evan shouted for Bomb to ask the Black March for help. Yuri said the sword wouldn't listen to her, so it won't help, but Bomb talked to the sword and it let Up the sword spirit talked to him and agreed to help because he was cute with the Black March's power. Bomb beat the eel, broke the sphere and moved to the next floor. Yuri tried to follow but Hedon stopped her and killed the eel. With his staff now, Bomb found himself on the second floor and there was a big battle with around 400 people. It was way better than the dark and creepy previous floor. Bomb was amazed but he had no time to enjoy it. A voice from a floating black cube called a lighthouse said they had to fight until only 200 were left to move on. The test started and Bomb used his sword to defend himself from others who tried to clap him, but then he faced a big multiple-eyed creature. He was in trouble when two new people, K Aggro and Rak Wraithrazor, came to them. Rak wanted to hunt Bomb and Kun was curious about the Black March sword. Rak really wanted to fight Bomb because he thought of him as prey. Bomb looked at his rivals and he saw that Rak was pointing his lance right at his head. Kun wondered why a talking alligator like Rak would be valuable. Bomb saw a chance to get away and moved a bit. Kun teased Rak by asking if he was Bomb's pet, but Bomb said that Rak wasn't his pet because Rak was trying to clap him. Rak got mad and stomped his feet, saying his name was Rak Wraithrazor and wanted Kun to call him that. Kun thought Rak was just like the other people who wanted to fight. He decided to leave, but he noticed something on Bomb's sword. It had the same mark as the 13-month series swords. And this made Kun curious. He made Rak fall and then ran away with Bomb. Rak got up calling them turtles and tried to find them while Kun and Bomb hid behind the guy with multiple eyes. Kun introduced himself, shook Bomb's hand and asked where he got the Black March. Bomb told him that Yuri had lent it to him to reunite with someone. Kun found this interesting and asked Bomb to go with him. Bomb agreed because Kun was the only person on the floor who hadn't tried to clap him. Meanwhile, Rak was still searching for them. In the middle of all this there was a battle between a green reptile girl named Anik with a whip-like weapon called the Green April and a guy named Hats who had two katas. The Green April had a red mark like the Black March, part of the 13-month series. This made Anik a princess of Zahard like Yuri. While Anik and Hats fought, Bomb and Kun counted how many people were left, which was 268. They were focused on hiding and waiting. Kun asked Bomb if he had ever clapped anyone, but Bomb said he hadn't. He couldn't remember his past, only what Rachel had taught him. Kun asked if Rachel was his girlfriend, but Bomb said she wasn't. He felt like he belonged to Rachel and that's why he had to climb the tower to find her. K said Rachel was like his rule. Bomb didn't know what that meant, but they shook hands to become allies. Bomb liked the idea of having someone on his side. The fight between Anik and Hats ended in a tie because they were both really strong. Then they met a guy named Shivisu and they all decided to team up. K told Bomb something important. He said that Bomb shouldn't be stuck following the tower's rules. He should make his own rules. K also thought that if a princess of Zahard like Yuri was interested in Bomb, it was worth believing in him too. But guess what? Rak suddenly appeared and tried to attack them. However, the time was up and the 200 participants for the next phase had already been chosen. The announcer said that anyone who attacked after the announcement would be disqualified. The announcer then gave them 5 minutes to form teams of 3 people. If they didn't have a team they'd be disqualified too. So Bomb and Kun tried to team up with Rak, but he said no, he wanted to chase them as his prey. Kun told Rak that he would clap him and find another ally. K even got ready to fight Rak, taking out a knife from his briefcase, but Bomb decided to fight Rak by himself without using his sword. He dropped his sword and asked Rak to hunt him as he was without fighting back. This made Rak pause for a moment. Kun tried to convince Rak to make an alliance, but Rak hit him with his lance and said he wasn't interested. As time ran out, Kun climbed up and grabbed Rak's neck. Bomb joined in picking up his sword and dodging one of Rak's attacks. They were transported to the 3rd floor and Rak still wanted to fight Bomb, but Bomb refused to fight. His new teammate Hun told Rak that it was dangerous for Bomb to use the sword because many people would want to hunt him for it too. Participants started fighting, but an examiner called Luro stopped them. Examiners were super strong and had climbed the tower before. Luro said that there were too many regulars and some needed to be eliminated. He used something called Shinsu to make a big barrier of water. The participant had to get past it to move on. Kun wondered if Bomb could make it, but Bomb surprised everyone by not getting pushed back by the water. He was still standing on the other side. Liru was amazed and told Bomb he had already passed the test. Then Liru made a bet with Bomb on who would pass the barrier first. The loser would have to answer a question from the winner Bomb wanted to find out about. Rachel Leroux and Bomb both chose Anik to be their champion. She was the first to cross the barrier, followed by her partner Hats. Her other partner Shabas had a tough time. Leroux called the beta. Continuing his journey to climb the tower. Watch this next video. See you.